Good morning, welcome to the garden. It's a beautiful spring day out here. We've had lizards running across the garden wall and birds are out chirping. It's really pretty. And it's the end of March, not quite my planting date of April 1st, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple of plants in the ground today. While cool weather plants are already in the ground, I typically hold off until the last spring frost date for plants that are not cold tolerant. That would be peppers, tomato, eggplant, squash, melon, gourds. All of these I wait until April 1st. That date, April 1st, is what you call your average last spring frost date, and you can easily find that by doing an online search for your area. Put in your city, your state, and last spring frost date, and come up with a date so that you know when it's safe to put out the plants that aren't cold tolerant or that can't really handle a freeze, a frost, or cold snap, whatever you want to call it. And that would be those plants that I just mentioned. So all that date represents, in our case, April 1st, is that there is a 90% chance there will be no more freezes after that point. So that's when you put out the tomatoes and the other plants. So why am I putting a couple out today? Today's the last week of March, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these in the ground. And reason being is two things. Number one, I checked the 10-day forecast and it's looking pretty good. It's looking like we're gonna have a lot of nights in 50-degree weather, which is what these plants like, and the days will be warm. It doesn't look like we're gonna have any freezes or frosts. And then the other reason is that I have plenty of plants to play around with. So I'm not gonna put all of them in the garden today. So here's the back porch. Oh, and a little bird was visiting the plants. Plenty of peppers and tomatoes and eggplants, and these will go in the house, back in the house tonight. So I'm pushing the season with a couple of plants, and then I still have replacement plants if it happens to not work out. If all I had were these 3 tomato plants, I would wait for that April 1st planting date and check the 10-day forecast one more time just to make sure there weren't any cold snaps coming through. But since I have so many plants to play with, I'm gonna try and push the season and see if getting started early works to my benefit. Then these plants will be in the ground, they'll get started growing a week ahead of time. It's just fun. I like pushing the season when I feel like the weather feels good and I have enough plants to do that with. This is Ivarsky pepper. I fell in love with this plant last year. It is really tasty. Down the line I have purple Cherokee tomato, and I have Pippin golden honey pepper at the end. I'm going about 18 inches between each plant. pretty this soil is. If you want notes on how I built this bed on rocky terrain, I can put that either in the comments below or do one of those tags. I'll just show you that it slopes from here and it slopes upward a little bit. So I'm probably maybe a foot off the ground or less. 8 to 10 inches for sure. Okay, we're on to the purple Cherokee now. We'll get tomato cages on these and water them in with the hose. Oh, that looks good. There we go. If you have any questions on what it means to know your frost date and why you want to know that, or your own notes on your experiments pushing the season, leave those in the comment section. I look forward to reading them, and happy gardening.